Happy VA Wednesday. So today we're going to be talking about how to use your BAH to work for you. This is actually like the 5th time I filmed this video because I keep on getting in the weeds because there's so much opportunity here. So I'm going to try to stay out of the weeds, but I'm going to give you a big overview as to why you care and how easy it is. Okay, number one. There's a misconception. A lot of people think you cannot use your BAH to qualify for a home. They may have talked to a loan officer that said this. They're wrong. They may have done some mortgage affordability calculator where it didn't ask about BAH, so it said you qualified for way less. Wrong. All of that stuff is garbage. When you're thinking about qualifying to buy a house, you want to talk to a real VA lender who does a ton of VA business so that we can walk you through how this stuff works. You know, you don't want to lose your opportunity at building wealth for the future because someone doesn't know VA guidelines. So yes, we can use your BAH to help qualify you for a loan. Yes, we gross it up. So what does that mean? Look, BAH is non-taxable. So for every $100 you get, I treat it like 125. Yeah, so we're gonna look at your base, we're gonna look at your BAH, we're gonna look at your rations, you know, if you have any other types of pay, we look at it all, okay? But the BAH, let's be honest, that can be a big chunk of your income. Now, so that's the first misconception. Where's the opportunity? Well, there's a couple different ways to look at this. You know, there's the long-term opportunity. Sometimes I hear, well, it was just easier to live on post. Yeah, okay, but if you serve for like 20 years, I guarantee you that house that you didn't buy 20 years ago is gonna be worth a lot more. There's a lot of opportunity lost, opportunity cost, right? That's given up. So when you're thinking about real estate, it's like, look, perfect world. And this does happen. If you get stationed somewhere where you can get into a solid house and it's less than the BAH, that's a win. That's a win all day long because it's like you could live on post and they could take all your money, or you could buy a house, have your BAH cover it, and have a little bit of money left over. That is a no-brainer. Okay. Now, the other thing is sometimes we'll see people, the house will be more than the BAH. We see a lot of that in certain parts of the country, but it's a long-term game. The way I look at it is this. Like when you're buying a house, you need to look at what the rental prices are in the area. Would I buy a house where the payment was $3,000 and the average rent was $1,000 if I was thinking I was going to be renting it out? No, that's not a good investment. We don't see a lot of that, right? We might see something where, like, let's say your payment is $2,500 and the average rents are $2,000, and you're like, oh, it's not going to cash flow when I leave. Here's the thing, the average rents are if you rent to one family. Average rents are not taking into account if you rent rooms. So it's like, look, let's say you buy a 3-bedroom house, great. When you leave, rent out each room for $1,000. That is what I'm seeing more and more of, and that is where I'm seeing the opportunity. And this is getting driven by the single military members who have the ability to live off of base, and they're using their BAH to work for them. What I'm starting to see a real growing trend in is we'll have a client where they're single, but they're at a level where they can live off base. They use their BAH to buy a house. 2 of their friends that are also single who can live off of base, they rent out the 2 rooms. It offsets this guy's payment to a good amount. And then these people, they're not using their whole BAH. They're using a portion of the BAH. They're getting the full amount and they're investing the rest. That's the thing. It's just a little bit of thinking sometimes that can set you up for the rest of your life. So look, if you're thinking this year, like, that sounds interesting. Like, would this work? Would I even qualify? Like, how does this work? Just call us, 786-933-2077. You can text us as well. If you want a specific time to talk, grab a time on the calendar. And look, I don't usually do rough numbers because they're not super accurate. But if you're like, I just want to know if I'm in the ball game, just put, let's go. That's right. I know. I had some other ones that were funnier, but no, let's go. And you'll talk with Sandy or Linda and they'll do rough numbers to see if you're in the ballpark. If you're in the ballpark, great, let's do an app. If you're not in the ballpark, let's talk about how to get you in there. Because the bottom line is, I see all of this right? I see people who have been in the military for 10 years and they have 5 houses. I see people who have been in the military for 20 years and they have no houses. And look, is buying a house always the answer? No, but buying a house can help you build wealth. Little bit of research. Yes, you're gonna have to talk to us. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be horrible. Just kidding. Everyone on my team is super nice. Go check out our Google reviews. I think we have over 750 now. People leave us the nicest reviews, and we appreciate all of you so much because you're so kind. But look, my team really cares, and I feel like, look, if you're in the military serving right now, let's maximize it. Let's set you up for the future. Like, every time you get stationed somewhere where it's affordable, let's plan. You know? So anyways, I won't go on for days. Questions, comments, as always, please reach out. But yeah, let's get that BAH working for you. Thanks for watching.